Hi everyone, so today in this video I'm going to tell you why Dumaguete is not the best choice for me personally and maybe not for you, and why other places might be better. Stay tuned. Alright everybody, so I'm here in Valencia. I'm not actually in Dumaguete right now, but I thought I would talk a little bit about why Dumaguete is not going to be a long-term option for me personally, and maybe not for you. Number one, traffic is really starting to become an issue in Dumaguete. Now, once you get out of Dumaguete, it's not a problem whatsoever. But within Dumaguete, the traffic has gotten so bad that between the hours, I believe, of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. at night, they start making streets one way. And it's kind of a pain, even if you're using your Google and you're trying to maneuver around. Google doesn't have the update, so you'll be going down one way and all of a sudden it says one way, so you can't continue that way. You'll have to continue down to the next road, turn, and it's going to be kind of a pain. Anywhere you go within the Dumaguete, you got all these one ways and traffic is getting quite heavy. There's so many tricycles on the road and motorbikes and cars. And you got a lot of tourists coming here, and they're all renting out motorbikes. A lot of them don't know how to drive a motorbike, and they're just all over the road. So yeah, traffic is one big thing. Number two, rental properties are starting to go up in price. Years back, most people that have lived here for a while will tell you that rentals were dirt cheap. But now, even all the way out into Bacong and Valencia and Darwin, rental prices are going up. And with that, as you know, the prices go up, and you know, it's just getting a little bit more expensive. It's still relatively cheap as far as Western lifestyle, but here in Dumaguete, I think you can do better if you get out of Dumaguete and go out to like Bacong, Valencia. But even that is getting saturated with tourists. Just being here in Valencia, I've seen several foreigners walking around. And years back, probably not so much. So number three is just the amount of foreigners here. You got all the influx of tourists. I see more and more digital nomads, a lot of younger people out here working. I see them at the Internet Cafe down on the boulevard. And even young Western females are now living out here. So for a lot of guys, this is kind of a double-edged sword. For one, it can be good because it brings a lot of Western amenities. You got a lot of Western food, a lot of great choices. The food out here is still relatively inexpensive to eat at. But with that, you just have so many foreigners. And for me personally, and I think for most guys, we kind of like the Marco Polo syndrome. We kind of like you go out someplace and people are looking at you like you're a superstar. Now, a lot of you guys may say that's not really that big of a deal for me. You know, I just want to find a good Filipina and settle down. Now, if that's the case, if you have a serious relationship or you're married, living in Dumaguete is not such a bad thing, because you're not really, you could really care less about the wow factor or the Marco Polo syndrome. But a lot of guys who are single or maybe perhaps looking for a serious relationship, I think it's much better to head out to places like Leyte, Mindanao, Samar. Really, there's a lot of places all over that there's just not a lot of foreigners. And for us, that's part of the appeal. You know, we're used to being out in the West where nobody looks at us. You know, we're really just any other Joe walking down the street. So we like to have that, and so Dumaguete may not be a good choice for you if that's the case. Another thing is Dumaguete is rather small, and even Valencia and Bacong and all those areas. So if you're a single guy and you're searching for the right girl, and perhaps you go on one date and then maybe you meet another girl and go on a second date, all of a sudden that girl has a cousin who knows that you went out with her. And then that cousin knows that a friend that knows another friend, and it really becomes a small place rather quickly. And all of a sudden you got the reputation of being a chick boy, even though maybe you've dated 2 girls. All of a sudden it's around town that you're dating multiple girls. Another problem is if you can start to get a rotation. You date one Filipina and you found out, oh, her ex-boyfriend is another foreigner who lives in town. And then you find out from another person she dated another foreigner, and it's almost like being like a rotation, like these Filipinos are dating multiple foreigners. So most of you probably would want to go out and date like a province girl or a girl who's not, you know, so much into the public scene there in Dumaguete. Another thing is you don't have any, you're not really anonymous here. You know, you walk around and people know you. It's just going to happen. They recognize you. They know who you are. They know your business. So, again, there's a lot of places that you can go. Mindanao, Leyte, Samar, Cebu, even in the south you can go. Luzon, there's areas all over. It's just, Dumaguete is becoming like the #1 place for foreigners to go, and it's not that big of a place. So it's just kind of getting worse and worse over time. More traffic, prices are going to go up for rentals. Just, you know, they don't look at us the same way like they do in other areas. So just food for thought. Probably I'm going to end up taking off in January, more than likely. I'm not sure yet of where I'll be or where I will settle down. Still kind of checking that out. Okay, one more thing. As I was getting ready to upload this video, all of a sudden we had a brownout here in Dumaguete. So that is one more thing that I'm not real fond of here in Dumaguete. There seems to be a lot of brownouts. Sometimes they're just 15 minutes, sometimes they're an hour. Sometimes they will schedule them and they will be power outage all day. There's one actually coming up, actually it was today on December 8th, and it was scheduled for all day in a certain part of Dumaguete. And that's pretty common. Now, places that I've been that brownouts weren't really a problem, Cebu I never really had any problems. Which is always nice. If you do live in a condo and you got the backup generator, that's always nice. Second, Cagayan de Oro. Cagayan de Oro had fantastic electric. I remember right before I was leaving Cagayan de Oro, earthquake hit. And I remember I was actually teaching online when this happened, and the whole condo was shaking. And power stayed on, internet stayed on, and I just continued to teach during the earthquake, and my camera was shaking and everything. But yeah, so that can be problematic, especially for somebody who's maybe working online, or you know, you're home and you're in the middle of a shower. Often there's water shutoffs, you know, so these things do occur here in Dumaguete, so just be warned. Yeah, I'm going through a lot of things I don't like about Dumaguete and why personally I probably won't stay here. But overall, a lot of people do like Dumaguete, and there are a lot of pros too. So I don't want to shine just a totally negative light on Dumaguete. It's not all bad, but I am just pointing out the things that me personally I don't like, and a lot of other expats that I've talked to don't like either. For me, this is not a long-term destination for me to live, but I am enjoying it here while I'm here, and like I've said in previous videos, in January I'll go ahead and take off and probably be headed elsewhere. So thank you guys for watching. Boring. So you guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay up to date with the latest content, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.